Good day, everyone. This is the first section of career path. And career path is in regards to what area that someone wants to embark on, or in other way to kind of know what course to do in the university. Like in Ireland, a lot of second level students will be doing their living cert next year, June. So that means they have to have the subject that they intend to do a course on. So now, if you're wondering, oh, I don't even know what course to do, I don't even know what kind of career to do. So this is what this video is all about. There is somebody in our midst, we have a guest who is going to talk about our own personal experience and the journey so far. So I'll let her introduce herself. So tell us your name and what you do, like everything that you do in general.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ms Kaosara, but people mostly call me KikiTheCoach. Well, I'm a graduate of the University of Ibadan. I'm based in Nigeria. I graduated as a health educator, but I currently work as a human resource officer. So for me, career path is something that you have to really think about before you embark on. Mostly because some educational system, they do not give you room to, get into the uni before you decide. There are some educational system that support, like, okay, when you get to the uni, you take some courses first to see where your passion lies before you
Yeah.
decide where you want to major in. We don't have that kind of educational system in Nigeria. You have to decide what you want to major in as soon as you're going into the university. And that can be very difficult because, in secondary school, you're still kind of young, probably not exposed to a lot of these courses. And a lot of these courses are not actually what they say they are in the uni. You find out when you're in the uni that when you get there, it's totally different from what you're doing, is totally different from what you intend to do. So I know it can be very difficult. So most of the time for me, I tell younger people that are going into the uni that you have to start finding your career, you have to start finding your passion and your purpose. When you find your passion and your purpose, it's very easy for you to decide, okay, this is what I want to do. And there's no pressure. Some people will not find passion and purpose in the same thing.
Yeah.
There is really no pressure. So it's just you finding, okay, this is what I find passion with. Some people are very good with people. So you may
Yeah.
want to take courses that are in relation to people, in you relating with people. As why some people are very good with tech. So you may want to find probably courses that are relating to that field. So for me, it has always been about people. So while I was going to the uni, I had difficulties because in my family, I've not had anybody that has gone to the uni. So there was really nobody for me to ask questions and make inquiry with. So I just decided that I was going to do health education. But when I got to the uni, I realized that a lot of my colleagues, they just picked the course. They didn't even know what they want to make out of it. They don't know what they can do out of it. Some of them said
Yeah.
the only thing you can do out of health education is teaching. But I made my researches about it, which I wished I had done that before I actually got into the uni.
Yeah.
That's another thing I think people should do. Before you pick a course, you may have choices, like pick your choices. Okay, I'm good with people. Research for courses that have to do with people. And then you check for those courses, what they entail, the work you can do with them, what you can achieve with them, where they can lead you to, so you are not confused. There are so many courses in the uni that at the end of the day you figure out, oh, what you can actually do with them and not the things that you want to do. But some people, and like, again, some people are very confused with the names of courses.
Yeah.
They don't even bother to do research about it. They just hear the name of the course and then they apply for it. And then when they get there, they're like bothered with, oh, this wasn't what I intended to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of situations like that. So I tell people, make researches about the courses you want to do. If your educational system is not the one that allows you or give you the opportunity to get to university before you decide, I think they do that in the US. You get to the university before you decide exactly what you want to do. You firstly minor in a lot of all these fields,
Yeah.
then you now major in some when you get to, I think, year two. So they give them the advantage of that. But in Nigeria, we don't have that. And in a lot of countries too, they don't have that. So people are confused when they are choosing life. And the funny thing is, when you get to the university or when you're entering the university, you are starting to decide the career you want to take part in life. So it can be
Mm-hmm.
very overwhelming. That's why I tell people
Yeah.
you can stick from the people that have gone through that phase. The
Mm-hmm.
internet is your friend to make researches. You can go to the school you intend on going to, administration block, ask
Mm-hmm.
questions. So you ask questions, you know what you want to do, and you be clear on it.
Yeah.
Because some people are very confused, and I understand. We are young, we're just leaving the uni. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
used to advise that career advisory should start from when people are in the uni. Some people, they wait till they finish university and then now they are confused on where to go, which path to take before they start taking career advisory. Career advisory is more advised to be taken before you get to uni. In fact, from your SS1, SS2, you should start taking career advisory. That way, you are exposed to your potentials. You're able to identify your potentials, your strengths, and then you challenge it into what you want to do. A lot of people that are in the uni, we are picking courses because my friend is going to do medicine, and I want to do medicine too. I think I can do
Yeah.
medicine too. Is that really your passion? Is that really what you want to do? Or you are doing it because a lot of your friends are doing it.
It. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes too, parents influences the decisions of their children. So
Yeah.
that should be considered, yes. So I always tell younger people and parents too, like when your child is at this phase, you have a very important role to play. Make sure
Mm.
that the decision you're allowing them to make are not a reflection of yours. Parents tend
Mm.
to confuse that. They
Yeah.
tend to influence the children's decision, even when they don't mean to. They feel like I
Yeah.
want them to choose their path, but at the same time, there's a path the parents actually want them to be on, and then they influence that decision, even when
Yeah.
they didn't do it intentionally. So, as much as you are supportive of your children, you have to, you know, get advisory with them. That's why parents now have a lot of works to do because as the first communicator of your child, like your child is coming to you first, they listen to you more. So you want
Yeah.
to have the right information to feed to
Mm-hmm.
them. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that stage is a very delicate stage because
Yeah.
as parents, if you are not really exposed, and the world is evolving, so what the parent has experienced when they were going to university is different now. So many more
Yes.
courses, yes, that are now channeling in so many areas. So parents too need to be as exposed as the child that is going into the university. The career
Yeah.
path would be you should be introduced to children as early as possible with, and it should be, it's not something that you just discuss. I mean, you should sit your children down, listen to their interests, ask them questions that you know they can give you valuable answers to, not just
Yeah.
what you want to do. What do you have passion for? What is your purpose? Your strength, your weakness. And then if it's possible for you, get them career advisory. So let them attend career seminars, career counseling, so they can open their
Mm-hmm.
eyes to a lot of things. For me, it was when I was in 100 level that I started my year one in uni, that I started understanding a lot of things. In fact, that has been one of the reasons why I have had what they call career transitioning. I started
Okay.
realizing that I find passion and purpose in different things. But as
Yeah.
much as it's connected, I know that I find passion and purpose in relation to people. I like when
Yes.
I relate with people. I like when I help people, when I touch people, and when I give people or direct people to the right path. I really love that. But I figured out that as much as I like counseling, I still want to reach more people. Then
Mm.
I started to try my hands in human resources, and I've had a beautiful time during that. And I think it's one of those things that I would be doing more often, even not permanently henceforth. So I think, yes, I think those are the kind of conversations parents should start having with their kids, not
Yeah.
when they are even at that point, before they even get to that point that they do need it.
Mm.
So they are more exposed so that their peers are not influencing their decision at the last minute.
Yeah.
They are sure of what they want to do. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
You
how
you
it
went
works.
really you went really ahead of me there, so I don't even really want to stop you because you've answered most of all my questions. Like somebody watching now will say, "Oh, health education, Kiki the coach. How does that relate? They call you
Oh,
a coach, you're a coach. How does that is that from the health education or how does that come about?"
oh, okay. Well, okay, when I was in uni, in my 300 level, well, I we did a lot of courses. In health education, we have what we call minors and majors. So in majors, we have so many majors. We have community health, public health, mental health, so many. So while we were carrying that out, and luckily enough, I did my researches before we even got to that point where we have to major. So I figured out that I am very good. And when I talk to people and my friends, I figured out I'm very, very good in, I don't know, helping them channel their decisions to the
Yeah.
right, way and all of that. Then from 300 level, I started attending professional courses. What do I want to do? Then I realized that's what I said. That was why I said earlier that you need to let them understand that these courses have names, but there are so many majors under it. Let them research about the majors under those courses.
Yeah.
That was when I started figuring out that there's a difference between a therapist and a psychologist and a coach. I actually used to
Yes.
think everything is the same. So,
Yeah.
and didn't have anyone to really explain it to me then. Then I started researching what's actually the difference. I always used to think when you're a therapist, you're a psychologist, you are a coach, you're a counselor. You know, all this part has made me like, okay, then I started researching about these different majors. Then I came across NLP coaching. Then I felt, okay, this is really my passion. NLP is when you help people to use their inner abilities, their neurological system to channel, their decisions to the right way. You don't tell people what to do. That's the difference. You
Yeah.
do not advise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
rather you help them come to the realization of what they
Yeah.
really, really do want. So I figured out
Mm.
that I do not want to control people's decision. However, I
Yeah.
want to help them channel what they have in them to the right way. That was why I decided to go into NLP and I got my certification and I became a coach. Funny enough was it is coaching that actually drives me into human resource that I'm currently doing because I
Okay.
figured out that in the human resource, organization or in the human resource, profession, there are people that human resource is seen as something like you have to influence people decisions. So I decided that, okay, well, how about you do not influence or control their decisions, but let them see passion, potentials in what they are doing. And I've been doing that for my organization and it has been working perfectly well. In fact, within 6 months, I got promotion from the internship to being the human resources assistant. So I think it has really, really worked for me. And I
Yeah.
think beyond that, parents should not try to force like, oh, because parents do not understand what their child have chosen to do in the university sometimes. They want them to pick something they can understand, something as easy as my daughter is a lawyer, my daughter is a
The
doctor,
doctor.
which is far beyond that actually.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Parents should also take advisory now and also try to broaden their knowledge about the potentials that their children have and how they can help their children channel that potentials to what they can become and do not try to influence the child decision. I keep saying that because some parents want to say, I want my child to be independent, but there's something you will be wishing that, well, in as much as I want her to make her decision, I want us to still be this. So
Mm.
indirectly, you're still influencing her decision on what she wants to become. So I think parents should give their children the space. They should just give them support and encouragement, but they should also ask questions that are not telling the child what to do, but rather guiding the child to where they will come to. I think that's just it. For me, it has been exciting because my parents has always leave me to make decisions like that. They just support and they keep asking, okay, this course you say you want to do, what can you make out of it? So I think those questions are actually made me to do researches so I can have answers to their questions too. I
Yeah.
think that's
So what I can gain from what you're saying is it is better for somebody to know what they want to become before they go looking for a course to do. Because sometimes some people go for the name of the course rather than
yeah,
what they will make out of the course. Because let me tell you something, if you do a degree, most times everything that you studied might not even if you major in that course might not even come your way. All the courses in unique might not even come your way. So you have to know what you
Yeah.
want to become out of the course before you
Yeah.
start saying, I want to do that course.
Yes. Well, that was why I said you should ask where their passion lies. Like in fact, growing when the children are growing, one thing I know is that parents see sometimes they do not just pay attention to when your
Mm,
children are growing up. Sometimes when your daughter is conversing with you may not say it to her face, or your son, you may not say it to his face, like, where is this child getting this wisdom from? And then you keep seeing that
yes.
there's this particular child out of all your children that is so good with words. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you are down, they just have a way of cheering you up. You may want to start asking that kind of child, where's your
Yeah.
passion? Where's your
Yeah.
purpose? So from
Yeah.
there, from their answer, then you can start giving advice of, have you tried checking, online about courses that, has to do with relationship with people? That way, you are
Mm-hmm.
not influencing their decision. You are just letting them see the options that they have. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily, life, what I figured out is life comes in different phases. You do
Yeah.
not necessarily need to say, it's very funny, like what you study in the university, you may not even do any of it throughout your career path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, the university is to open your knowledge
Yeah.
such that when you later specialize in something, the wisdom and the knowledge that has been opened from your university days, you can now apply it to other things.
Mm.
So even when if they have passion for relationship with others or relating with others, if the person studies something that is in relating to others, the relationship with others in the uni, even when they decide not to do exactly what they have studied in university, but they are doing something that is in line with relating to people, the knowledge of that will actually work. So I think
Yes.
generally is in what you find passion and purpose with. And a
Yeah.
lot of
That.
they mirror their own passion through their children most
Yes.
times.
What they intended to do that they didn't achieve, so they want
Yes,
their children
yeah,
to do. I know.
yeah,
I know. We are changing. We are getting better.
yeah,
And can I just say, you mentioned what prompted you into coaching,
yeah.
but for your degree, ed education, why ed education? What are the things you notice about yourself that you think maybe I should do this course, or it's just I just want to do a course?
Okay, what I was funny enough was when I was younger, a lot of people used to say I'm very good with words. Like I'm very, very good with words. And I used to like politics a lot. Like I used to like politics a lot. So I decided I was going to go for political science when I was in school. But I didn't make my research about political science. I just said political science. In my mind, it's like once I do political science, I am going into politics.
Mm,
That's why I said you need to start making your researches, not just the names of the courses. But
yeah.
when they gave me admission for political science, I did not notice on time. So the time has elapsed and I had to pick another course. Then they gave me options, I think about 5 courses. Then I now decided that then I didn't know what they were about. I didn't know what they were about. Political science, from the name, I thought it was about politics. So I had to do my researches about the courses. And I think I had about 24 hours. So I did researches about, I think the first one was human kinetics. It wasn't working for me. I'm not someone that like exercises. So I said, no, it's
Yeah.
not going to work for me. So health education, I said, oh, okay, I like talking. I like educating people, and I know I always have good relationship with people. So I researched about it, and I saw that it is influencing people's health. Campaigning for health, so it can be community health, public health, mental health. I never knew I was going to actually major in mental health. In fact, my majoring in mental health as a result of feedbacks I was getting from when I was
Oh.
in uni. Yes. When I was in uni, 100 level, 200 level, I did field experience. Then I started seeing that a lot of people, in fact, people used to say it earlier, I don't pay attention to it. I say, you're very good with people. When
Mm,
I'm doing presentation in class, my lecturers are always saying, they have noticed that you are very, very good with people and delivering, and you influences people, whether you do it intentionally or not. Then a friend of mine,
wow.
300 level, asked me, what do you want to do exactly? And he said it as a joke that I think we should open therapy office or something. I'm like, do you mean? He said yes, that you always talk to people, and he always turn out like yes, like they always make sense. And then I started doing my research about mental health. And then I did courses about mental health. And I was asked that if I want to specialize, I can. Then I specialized in mental health. But it was not enough. So I started making researches about professional courses, and I started attending most of the courses that I saw, and I
Yeah.
got certified for it. That's why I used to say it boils down to the passion the child has. When you are
Mhm.
doing something you have passion for, it is easier for you because you're
Yes.
not being forced to do it. It is easier for you. In fact, even when it is challenging, you will do the challenges, you face them with a smile on your face because you know this is what I want to get. So I think it
Yeah.
is easier to do things you want to do, you have passion for. And it is easier
And
to make good things out
yeah.
of those things.
And one of the danger with passion is the person who is so passionate about something, that's their strength, they kind of overlook it, like, because they do it easily. If it's your strength, you do it easily, you don't need any
Yeah.
prep or anything. So we feel like, oh, I'm really good at that. Wow, really? Like, people be saying, yo, you're so good at this.
Yeah.
No, I don't,
Yeah.
because you just get up and go, you do it so easily, so you ignore that strength because it's so easy. We always think when it's hard, that is when you're doing something, because it's
Yes.
hard to get
Yes.
it done. So
Yeah.
sometimes people ignore their passion, they ignore where they should
Yeah.
be focusing more on because it comes easy to them. I said
That's
in one of my videos, I said, if you have a good voice and you want to sing, you just sing. But if
yes.
somebody who doesn't have a good voice, well, you'll be coughing 3 days, you'll still be coughing because it's not
Yeah,
your
we'll be
strength.
very conscious of it. Yes. I think
Yeah.
we tend to not be conscious of our strength actually. Humans, we mostly focus on the things we are not good at and striving to be good at them. We forget the things we have strength on and we forget to build on those things. I think that's it. So
Yeah.
3 days ago, one of my friends said, you have been enlightened on the things you have strength and passion for, and you have faced it squarely. He said it's a revelation. Not many people have that kind of revelation. And I think it's
Mm.
true. We tend to focus more on our weaknesses a lot of times than our strengths. I think it's something we should, and I see most of this thing boils down to parents. I keep saying it. When your child is crossing into this phase of life, that's when they need you the most with
Yeah.
encouragement and pushing them in a supportive way of why don't you do researches about. In fact, you can tell your child, make a list of the top 10 things you want to do or you want to become. Because most of the times another difficulties is it's not one thing you have in your mind that you want to become. You have two, three, four things you actually want to do and you don't know where
Yes.
to start from.
Mm.
So I think that's it, it boils down to the relationship the parents are trying to have with the kids at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're changing. We're changing. Like in one of my videos, I said, back home, is either you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're
Yeah.
an engineer, or you're a failure. That's the way. But now it's
Yeah.
changing. People are doing something that you just be wondering, what kind of job is that? And
Yeah.
they're making a living out of it. So we are
Yes.
more shifting to that part of what our children enjoy the most. Even we are still, we are still growing, we are still finding our path. We're changing careers here and there. Oh, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I think I want, because some of us, we detect
Exactly.
our career path very early. And that is what we are
Yeah.
trying to throw out to people, like, get it early so that, as you build experience as you go, you become a guru in the area that you specializes on. Though that is never too
Yeah.
late to change career path, but you cannot compare somebody who already know what they want to do at the age of 15, at the age of 16, 17, 18, to somebody who in their 40s or in their 50s want to change career path. You know the way. It's still okay. At least you find your path, but you gain knowledge as you go because you still have time. I want to ask, what are the things that you notice about yourself? You remember when I mentioned somebody said if a child wants to be a swimmer, they will like playing with water. So what it is
Yeah.
that you notice about yourself for you to know that I think I should go for health education. I think I should be a coach. I think I should work in the HR sector and all that.
Okay. Thank you. Like I said earlier, I noticed that I've always been good with people. Well, it wasn't me that first noticed it. It was actually people that noticed it. And I kept getting comments like, oh, wow, you're so good with people. You know how to talk to people. You know how to, just converse with people. And then they will get your point and a lot of that. Then a specific friend of mine just said, why don't you want to monetize these potentials that you have? Why don't you make researches? And you're already doing something in the uni. You don't have to limit yourself. Why don't you make researches? Figure out what you can do in this field that would align with your personal values, and then you still make money out of it. So that was when I actually started doing researches about health education, what I can get out of it. That at the same time, I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, something that I do effortlessly and still get my money from. So
Yeah.
I made researches and I came across the mental health part of it. Then I made researches on mental health too. That was why I kept saying that it's not just about knowing what a course entails, because a lot of times, especially when you want to do your master's, you figure out what you studied in uni has so many majors, so many specializations,
Mhm.
and it can
Mhm.
be really, really confusing. So I think it is better when you start right from before you get to the uni, make your researches on what you want to study, check if these specifications that these courses have align with what you actually want to do. Because there are some courses that just from the name of the course, you think this is what they're about. Eventually, that is not what they are about. And then you
Yeah.
find it difficult to specialize later on.
Mm.
And then you realize that at the end of the day, you are just doing your work or whatever passion or career path you have chosen just to get money out of it, then you don't enjoy doing it. And one thing is, if you don't really enjoy doing something you are doing, you don't get to be very productive out of it. So
Yeah.
you should find your passion and your strength first and then work on that in alignment with your passion. I think it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's more like focusing on your personality first.
Yeah.
And then with you finding out who you are and all, then you'll be able to know where you fit in the area of career.
Yeah.
Somebody said one time, whatever it is that you do, that you think, even if they are not paying me, I can do it for free. That is where
Yeah.
you should be. Because it's not like
Yes.
you're working, you're enjoying it anyway. So even though
Yes.
money is good, but you see the money as like a bonus, like I'm still gonna do it if they don't pay me. So
Yes.
hopefully we
Yes, like I was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday, and she kept mentioning that she's doing tech. Okay, she studied English language, and she has always had passion for teaching or lecturing or anything in that line. But because
yeah.
everybody is now doing tech, she wants to do tech. She has tried her hands in like three different tech fields, and she's so smart that whenever she tries her hands in something, she will know that thing. But because she has no passion for it, no flair
Yeah.
for that stuff, she ends up learning them and dumping them, and then she goes back to the teaching again. And I kept asking her, why do you go into tech, learn about it, know it, then drop it to go back into teaching? So because everybody's doing tech and they say tech has a lot of money. But because she doesn't have the flair for it, she just want to follow the
Yeah.
trend. That's why she's doing it. But
Yeah.
she keeps going back to her passion. So I think
Yeah.
that's more like it for me.
That is something I usually say, like people like that, she's so genius, like her brain is full, she work with her brain, but most of the things that she's doing, she's not doing it with her heart. And
Yes.
the brain can take you because you study, you have information, but if it doesn't connect with your heart, you get tired along the way because it's not something that you enjoy, it's not you. So, and
Yeah.
then when you work with someone else's part, obviously you get tired because you will not know the pace at which you should go or how to go about it. So we really need to find ourselves first before we embark
Exactly.
on, oh, what kind of career we will be able to do. So that's
Yeah.
so great. Mm. And can I
And
ask you,
for
what
me,
other things do you do?
okay, for me, I've always found passion with fashion designing, probably because I grew up in it and it's something I used to find passion for. But like I kept saying it, passion is very, very important once it comes to anything you want to do. Because I used to remember that I never learned fashion designing by standing and looking at what they are doing. My mom was always very angry at me while I was growing up. She says, at least come and check what I'm doing. And I will keep telling her, don't worry, I saw it already, I can do it. And she'll be like, you
Mm.
cannot do it. And eventually, because I know I have passion for it, even when nobody is there, I will do it. Then I started finding solutions to the problem she even used to have while she's making dresses. So I think whatever you want to do, you have to have passion for it. That's actually what comes out of it. And I realized that the kind of clothes my mom was even making then is very different from the kind of clothes that I'm making right now. And I still do those ones
Yeah.
too. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all about what you find pleasure in doing. when you are happy doing something, you do it exceptionally well. Even if you are not perfect with it, you will want to improve. Unlike
Yeah.
something they force you to do, even if you are not doing it well, you will keep thinking about, it's definitely not what I want to do. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. But if it's something you have passion for, you will try all of your best in doing that thing. That's why I keep saying when it comes to choosing career paths, one has to encourage children to do or choose as like early in life, guide them to the path, or enlighten them, support them.
Yeah.
It always boils down to parents most of the
Mm-hmm.
times, because I see the influence of my parents, enlightenment at a very young age. They always ask me, what do you want to do? Exactly. When I tell them what I want to do, they don't tell me, don't you think this is better? They don't do that. They just tell me, there is phone. Take your phone, make researches about this, and come back. And then I come back with 10 questions. They never
Yeah.
tell me, do this, or don't you prefer this? They always just ask me, why, check this out. Make findings about this. What can you make out of this? In fact, they keep asking me questions with the questions, and I keep having to go back to do researches until I finally found my answers. So it's always like that. I think parents should encourage rather than try to influence their children's decision by confusing them. The children are young. When we are young, we just need support, because sometimes we don't know what
Yeah.
university is like. We don't know what these courses are like. Most of the times I've had interviews with my friends, I've questioned my friends, and I realized that a lot of times when they are choosing courses in university, they're actually choosing the name of the course,
Yeah. Some
not
parents don't even know what the university is all about as well. So
yes. Yes. So most of the parents or most of the children, they're actually picking the name of the courses. And some parents do not care to the extent of asking them, what's the course about? In fact, I remembered when my brother my brother is trying to get admission into the university. And he kept saying, this is what he wants to do. This is what he wants to do.
mhm.
Just last week, I was asking him, what is it about? He said, it's business admin. Is it not just about business, handling business? Then I told him, under business admin, there are so many things you can make out of it. Go and do researches. It wasn't until yesterday he was telling me now he's confused. You have to make
Oh,
researches about all these things. So you can't just pick a course because of the name. You think you know what the course is about, and then you go into it. It's beyond that. Especially
yeah,
when you have so many career paths now, so many. In fact, you get some people or some career, and you're wondering what is it about.
exactly.
Like, so in as much as our children need to make researches, to parents too, you need to support, by parents need to be enlightened now. We're in a
Mm-hmm.
digital world now. Parents cannot be in a situation where they are left behind.
Yes.
And the courses the parents have done is quite different from what they're experiencing in the uni now. So parents need to keep
Mm-hmm.
themselves up to date too. Like
Yeah.
parents should be upgrading themselves too, probably by making researches, especially when you know you have children that are at that point or that stage in their life,
Yeah.
because you can
Mm-hmm.
only support what you know about, what you at least you have an idea about. So you are not
Mm-hmm.
even supporting the wrong thing. So yes.
Yes. We are in the world of technology, so you cannot be left behind. Because sometimes some children might even come to you and say, this course I want to do. That's the course they want to do, actually. But if the parents oppose, they might make it sound as if that's the course the parents want them to do. So they
Yeah.
might say teaching is healthcare. You know the way. So they might just
Yeah.
explain it just for them to get the go ahead to do it. But if you're a
Yeah.
parent that, okay, let me go on Google, let me just check what this is. You say, no, what you said was wrong. Come and see. You might even
Yeah.
pretend as if you didn't know they do anything. Just come and say, I don't think you're right. Come and look at this information. So information is there for everybody. If we
Exactly.
want to know something, there's always resources for us to to have that information. And then there are other universities, not even other, a lot of universities, they do open days even before the year that the new students, the undergraduates will go in. So parents, students, everybody can go in and even ask questions on behalf of their children. So that's so wonderful. And now that the Irish students are going into university next year, like the new sections that are doing their living cert in June, this is an opportunity. Let's say they have put in some courses through the CAO to say, oh, this is what I want to do. This is my choice. Now watching this video, you'll be able to like, oh, maybe I should search more about this and be able to rearrange my choices. and there is still time for them to do that. So thank you so much for honoring this invitation to come and bless us. And them just say your handle if people want to reach out to you. If someone look at her and say, oh, she can be my mentor, let me reach out to her. Where can they reach out to you?
Okay, so I have my Twitter account, okay, but I mostly use my LinkedIn account because LinkedIn is the new place you put yourself out there for your career path. So for my LinkedIn account is actually my full name. That's Kaosara Tobiloba Rasheed. So I can drop yes, I can drop the handle with you. You can check it. You mostly even have how I've started my career and the things I do and how I've started from stage to stage because it's been wonderful. And I like the way the educational system has now been structured such that even if you do something for your undergraduate, you have the opportunity. So far it aligns with what you want to do. That was why I mentioned in relationship with people. You can channel that knowledge into something or another specialization for your master's. So it's so beautiful right now.
Yeah.
It's a
Education is
beautiful.
never a waste.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, we will bring you back for another topic.
Thank you.
So,
I'll look
thank you
forward.
so much for honoring this
Thank you.
invitation. And till we see again, bye for now. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you for having me. Bye.